Okay, Ken, let's start with you hustling on a Wednesday when everyone else is traveling and doing whatever else, and really representing the people here who are like, okay, Oakland says they talked to the league. The league says nothing from Oakland. You cleared everything up, so let's first get your synopsis of where we stand with Oakland versus Commissioner Manfred.
Well, what the story I wrote yesterday really was about was the city of Oakland wanting to establish with the commissioner, through that meeting the mayor had with Commissioner Rob Manfred, that they did make an offer, that there was a very, as they put it, specific proposal presented to the A's, and they felt, and they feel today, that it was a good proposal. Baseball, if you remember, as represented by the commissioner, his comment initially was there was no offer, there's nothing on the table, etc. That is what the city of Oakland, as represented by the mayor in that meeting, wanted to disprove. It seems to me they did a pretty effective job disproving that. There was definitely a proposal there. Baseball's next question would be, okay, can you execute this? And they do have some questions along those lines. But remember, the A's were asking for a $12 billion developmental project around the ballpark in Oakland, a development project that would actually just include a ballpark. In Las Vegas, all they're getting is a ballpark. So what the ask was a whole lot different in Oakland than it was in Las Vegas. And the other part of it too is, it seems to me, after talking with the mayor and other people involved in that effort, it's a sincere effort. It was a sincere effort. And they had, I wouldn't say moved mountains, but they had certainly accomplished a lot in their quest to get a deal done. Was it all the way there? Maybe not. Was it there to baseball's satisfaction? Maybe not. But that's why you negotiate. In my mind, after researching this article and writing it, it seems to me if Major League Baseball really wanted to be in Oakland, if the A's really wanted to be in Oakland, they could have found a way. Now, baseball and the A's might dispute that. They might say we've been trying for 10 plus years. But if you look at all the documents that are attached to what we wrote, and we printed all of them, the ones that were presented to the commissioner, certainly there had been progress made. And certainly there was something on the table. And if they really wanted to, they could have gone from there.
So you wrote in your article that the mayor was elected January 9th. Is that correct?
Yes, inaugurated. She was elected in November, brought into
Okay.
office in January.
Is there any inclination that the A's approached her after being elected, or after maybe even during the campaign, not saying anything nefarious, just like, hey, now that you're in, we'd really love to get this because this didn't work out with the previous mayor, who I think had been in office since 2015, I think you said in your article.
Correct. Yes. They had talked and there were negotiations going on. And in fact, when Commissioner Manfred told me that he thought the mayor's intentions were good, but she was kind of late to the process, obviously just getting there in January, and the bad seeds had been sown, so to speak. And that's true. And at the same time, if it really was over, I think the expression he used was it was kind of over before she got there. Well, then why do you negotiate still? They were still negotiating. So, yes, there was communication, Eric. There were still negotiations. And one of the points that the mayor made to me was they've gotten 2 additional grants since, I guess, the initial proposal was made in April. So more money was coming in. Her quote was, the offer is getting better all the time. So again, these things often disintegrate into semantics, he said, she said, and it's difficult to know exactly where both parties are. But once more, the impression I took away was that if there was a desire on the A's part and baseball's part to get a deal done in Oakland, they certainly could have gone forward in a more meaningful way than they ultimately did. And beyond that, the negotiations were to the point, Eric, where when the deal with Vegas was announced, or the binding agreement, whenever that was, in April, I believe, Oakland was blindsided. They felt they were close, really close to a deal.
Ken, so we've got Rob saying a bunch of things that aren't true. Surprise, surprise. Right? What's the point? Right? Like, is he trying to save face? Is he trying to make Oakland look bad? What is the point of not just saying, hey, we got this deal from Oakland? Is it because, like you said earlier, do they not want Or they just don't want a team in Oakland, or what's going on?
I'm not sure. And you're asking me to read his mind, and I'm not very good at doing that, not just with him, but with anybody. I still don't understand why he said what he did about there being no offer. Now, if you want to say, well, it wasn't a technical term sheet, okay. But I think we published over 200 pages of documents on what was being discussed and what was planned and all of that. So clearly there was a lot going on, a lot going on. I don't know why he took the tack he did. I don't know why he insulted the people of Oakland that day, the fans, when he kind of mockingly referred to the reverse boycott as an average night in Major League Baseball in terms of attendance. I don't know why you would say that. In fact, you can make the argument from afar. Baseball already has won in their minds. They want to go to Vegas. They got a deal on Vegas. Just go graciously. That's not what happened. I will say in these particular comments he made to me the other day, there was none of that. There was none kicking the dog or anything like that. He just said, we had an open, good conversation, but it's just not there, in his opinion. And okay. And they, in fairness, baseball has reason to be skeptical of Oakland because of all the failures before. But this was a new mayor with a very passionate feeling for this. I think that came through in the two articles we ran. We ran the news story and the Q&A. And she clearly is a fighter, and she clearly wants this done. Now, is it too late? Probably it's too late. But as she said, until there's a shovel in the ground in Vegas, she's going to keep at it.
Wait, why? I guess you just said it's too late. Like, I feel like there's still a chance, but maybe I'm being too positive. But I think, why would the owners, because she printed out 31 copies, one for him and one for each owner. I think Fisher's probably going to burn his. But
Fisher's not real. He's not a real.
He's an AI. Okay. Why would the commission, or whatever that the relocation commission that I think is headed up by Antanasio, why would they not tell him, hey, John, you need to at least look into this. We don't want you in a smaller market. We want to stay in a diverse market. Why would they not at least look at this and tell him, hey, let's pump the brakes a little bit?
Eric, excellent question. And I don't know this for certain. Actually, I do know this for certain because the mayor, we quoted her to this effect. She wants the owners to see what they had. That's why she made the show of giving him the copies of these documents. She wants them to be aware of just what happened. And if I'm a large market owner, I've said this before and I'll say it again, I have serious questions here. This is a team that's going to go right back on revenue sharing when they get this deal. They might have gotten right back on revenue sharing in Oakland as well, but maybe in a new ballpark in Oakland, if it succeeded in the way that the Giants succeeded with their new ballpark some years ago and to this day, then perhaps they would be off revenue sharing. So if I'm a large market owner, I'm asking some serious questions. Actually, if I'm any owner, I'm asking John Fisher, why is this so much better than what you could have had? Tell me, why didn't you just go for a ballpark in Oakland and make a much easier deal than reach for this deal in Vegas where you're only getting a ballpark? These are all fair questions, and I don't know if this is going to be railroaded through or not. It's difficult for me to know or say, but if I'm an owner, especially a large market owner, but any owner, I'm asking hard questions.
Do you get a chance to have a quick follow-up? Do you have a call into Manfred's office? I don't know how requests for, questioning happens, for a rebuttal. Have we had any kind of rebuttal? I know this just came out. I think they had their meeting Sunday. Is that when they met together?
Yes, they met Sunday. I talked to the commissioner before the All-Star game, and I don't know that he needs to say or would say anything more than he said to me then. I told him what the mayor had said and where her position was, and he responded in kind. So the next question really is, what happens with the relocation committee? Do they get this thing going forward? And actually, the first question before that is, do the A's get their act together? As Manfred said in his press conference with the Baseball Writers Association of America a couple of days ago, right the morning of the All-Star game, they have not submitted their full relocation proposal. And on top of not fully submitting it, they have not seemingly submitted the part about where they're going to play from 2025 to 27. So is their act fully together? Based on past history, a good guess is no, because they've had, as our Tim Kawakami has written many times, numerous deals over the years that have fallen through. And this one's further down the line. There's no question about it. Do I think it will happen? Yes. But there are still some obstacles. There is still some political opposition in Las Vegas. This is not totally clean as far as just getting a deal from point A to point B. So that might be also why Oakland is again making public its desires and what it has done substantively to get this done. We'll see how it all plays out.